Hey guys, welcome to the next session of Microsoft Cognitive Services. And in the previous session we discussed on how we can use image recognition, that is computer vision, and translation service from the Microsoft Cognitive Services. And today in this session we are going to talk about how we can use Microsoft Bing Search API in our Angular application. So the Microsoft Bing Search API is responsible for giving the search suggestions. Like if you want to create some search engine, then definitely we can go for the Microsoft Bing Search API. So let me give some idea for over here. Let me type some query, and whatever I will type, I will get some relevant searches on my right hand side. So let me type A, and over here on my right hand side I'm able to find the queries like Amazon, then Amazon Prime Video, and then Amazon Prime, etc., like Aadhaar card, etc. So over here these all the searches are coming from the Microsoft Bing search engine. So if you want to create some custom search engine, then this is the API that we can use. So in this session we are going to talk about how we can create this Microsoft Bing search API in Angular application. So without wasting much more time, let's try to build this application. So now I am in my Visual Studio Code. So the first step that we need to follow is to create the Microsoft service so that we can use it from the Angular application. So let me go to the browser, and over here I have already logged into this Microsoft Azure portal, and these are the two services, that is translate and image recognition, that we created for the previous sessions. So over here on the first page itself I am able to find this option, that is cognitive services. And if you are not be able to find this option, then you can search it over here. So let me search for cognitive services, and over here you will find this option, that is cognitive services. So let me click on this one, and now over here we just need to add new service. So over here if you are not be able to find this add button, or let's say if you haven't created any services previously, then over here you will find this new option, or over here you will just find one button that is called as a create new service. So let me click on this add button as of now, and then we just need to find the service that we need, and we just need to create the service. So over here let me search for Bing search, and the first option that I'm able to find is Bing search v7. So let me click on this one, and then let me wait till all the results get displayed. Now let me create this service. So I'm able to find the one result, that is Bing search v7. So let me click on this create button, and let me click on this Bing search v7 button. And now we just need to fill some information. So name, I will fill it as search. Then we just need to choose the free trial, and if you have any pro account, then you can definitely go for the pro account. And as of now I just have this free account, so I will go for free trial. And then we just need to give some resource group. So let me create the new one, or over here I have two resources which are existing, that is image and text. So let me click on this text. So if you don't have any resource group, then you can click on this create new, and you can create new one. So let me click on this confirm, and let me click on this create. So over here I just got one error because I just left out this pricing tier. So let me click on this pricing tier, and let me click on this free one, and now let me click on this create button, and now it is creating this service, and it is initialized the deployment, and it is now submitting the deployment. And now everything is done and the deployment is completed. So let me click on this go to resource button, and now over here on the left hand side we are able to see all the necessary information, that is quick start, and these are the options and the keys and endpoints. So this option is most important for us because we are interested most in this one. Then we are able to see some pricing tiers and billing, subscription, properties, etc. On the right hand side we are able to find different things like how to make the API call. So we are able to find some documentation. If you want to go for some coding samples, then definitely here on the third part we have some coding samples, and we have some additional resources. So as of now the account is the service is created, so we just need to use this service from our Angular application. So let me go to my Angular application, and over here let me code for some UI. So let me close this terminal, and let me create one new component. So let me open the terminal, that is new terminal, and let me create a new component, that is ng gc search. So the name of the component will be search. Let me hit the enter and let me wait till the component is created. And now the component is created. So we just need to configure the path for this newly created component. So let me close this terminal, and over here let me go to this app, and inside this let me go to the file, that is app routing.module.ts. So let me click on this one, and over here we have already configured the two parts, and let me click the new one, or let me create the new one. So let me copy this existing line, let me paste it over here, and the path name will be a search like this, and the component name will be the search component like this. Now let me go to this header. So let me go to this header, and inside this let me go to this header.component.html, and over here we have different options. So let me copy this li, which is the list item, that is navigation bar list item. So let me copy this existing one and let me paste it over here, and over here we just need to change some values. So over here let me change this text as Microsoft or just search, or let me make it as Bing search so that it will be more relevant. And let me copy this path, that is search, and let me paste it over here inside this router link. And make sure that you are giving this slash, because if you missed this slash you might face some errors. So let me save this one, and let me go to the browser again, and let me see what is happening into the application. So I have already started the application, which is running on the localhost 4200, and over here now we are able to find the new option, that is Bing search. So let me click on this one, and now we are able to see the message like search is working. That means our path is successfully configured. So now let me just write some code for this new component UI. So let me go to this search folder. Inside this let me go for this search.component.html. So over here, if you have already created the image recognition or translator services, then you might have the UI code like previously we have created the UI code. So you can copy the same UI code, that is same HTML file code, and you can paste it over here. But if you are watching this session and if you are creating this service for the first time, then you may not have this UI code. So you can write this UI code, like I will just write it over here, so you can write it in that way. So let me remove everything from here and let me use some Bootstrap classes. So I have already configured this Angular application to use Bootstrap. So if you do not want if you don't know how to configure the application to use Bootstrap, then you can check out my description list. So over here, just let me just give some Bootstrap class, that is container like this, and let me take one card. So this container, this card are all the Bootstrap classes, and dot card is the shortcut to create one new div tag which is having class is equals to card like this. And inside this let me just take some text. So this is the dummy text, I will change it, but as of now let me check this whether the card is visible and whether the container is working or not. So let me go to the browser, and over here we are able to find the card and we are able to find the text, but I just want some padding into this card and I just want some margin from the top side. So let me go back to this Visual Studio Code, and over here let me just apply one class, that is empty-5, which is margin top 5. Then let me apply some style, that is padding is 20 pixels like this. And now let me go to the browser. So let me go back to the browser and everything is looking good. So over here we just need to divide this card into the two different parts. So for that we just need to use some Bootstrap classes. So let me use some Bootstrap classes like row, which will create new row. Inside this we just need to create two columns. So let me just type .col, that is column, -lg, that is large, then 6. So Bootstrap have 12 different grids. Among that we are dividing it two, like we just need one part which is taking the 6 grids and the second part will be taking the 6 grids. So in that way we are just dividing 12 grids into the 6. So that is why we have used 6 value over here. And in a similar way, let me copy this one div and let me paste it over here. and inside this, as of now, let me just type one text like learn, and again let me copy this text and paste it over here. So this is just a dummy text. I just want to verify whether these card is getting divided into two parts or not. So I just want to verify that, so that's why I'm just taking this dummy text. Now let me go back to this browser, and now let me see whether it is working or not. And yes, it is working. I'm able to divide these two cards, divide the card into the two different parts. Now let me write the actual code. So over here we just need one input box. So we just need to type some controls. So we just need one input box, like input type is equals to text, and then we just need to apply some class, that is form control, and let me take one label as well, and this label will be for search query, like this. And over here let me give the label as search query, and let me give the name and ID. Name is equals to search query, so let me copy this one, and ID will be the search query, like this. Now let me save this. Let me go back to this browser, and then we are able to find one label and input box over here. So let me give some placeholder so that a user will get some hints, and we are going to use some event over here. So let me configure that event as well. So over here let me give some placeholder, like placeholder is equals to search query, like this. And let me go back to the browser again, and let me see what is happening. Now everything is looking good. Now in this case we are going to use one key map or key up event, which is provided by the Angular. So this key up event, if you want to read out the information, then I will give this link into the description box. So over here, this key up event over here, we are able to find the output, like whenever user types something over and if you want to hit the event whenever user types any key into that particular text box, then this particular key up event will be very helpful. So we are going to use this key up event in our example. So this is the practical example where we can use this. So if you want to go for this practical example, and if you want to see how it works and all, then you can definitely read out this article. So now let me go back to this Visual Studio Code, and let me use this. So if you want to use this, we just need to assign some name for this box, input box. So let me assign one name over here, like hash search, like this, search, or let me make it as search query, like this. And then whenever we will hit this key up event, we just need to call one function. So let me use key up is equals to search query, which is my function name, and to this function we are just going to pass parameter like search query, whatever value it will be hold, we are just going to pass it to this function. So search query dot value, like this. So if these names are making like if you are able getting some confusion over here for this name, so let me explain what is happening over here exactly. So this search query is the name of this particular text box or input box, and this is the function name. So if you want to give some different names, so let me give some different name over here so that it will not create any confusion. So let me make it as get Bing suggestion, like this. So now it is quite different. So get Bing suggestion is my function name, search query is my name of this particular input field, and to this get Bing suggestion we are just sending this value that whatever this particular input box holds. So now let me create with this function, because we haven't created this function yet. So let me create this function into my ts file, and let me go to my ts file. So let me close this one, and let me go back to my search.component.ts file, and let me create new function. So the function name is get Bing suggestion. So let me copy this function name so that it will not make any mistakes. So let me copy this function name and let me create it over here, and inside the brackets let me add the parameter. So the parameter it is taking is search term, like this. And let me now let me give this two brackets so that we can assign the body for this function. So this get Bing suggestion will make one service call. So we just need to add some service over here. So over here we have already created this service that is called as a MS service. So if you do not have this service created yet, you can run this command that I have given over here, and you can create the new service. And inside this service we just need to inject this private HTTP client, that is we just need to inject this HTTP client module. So we just need to inject this one, and this HTTP client comes from this @angular/common/http. But make sure that if you want to use this HTTP client, we just need to import this HTTP client module. So if you don't know how to import, so let me tell you. So inside this app.module.ts, inside this imports array, we just need to add this line that is HTTP client module. So make sure you are giving all the spellings correctly, that is capital and small, everything. So look at over here, and this HTTP client module comes from @angular/common/http. So we just need to make sure we are importing this before using the service. Now let me close this one, and let me go back to this ms service.ts, and over here let me add one new function. So let me add this as public get Bing search suggestion, and this will take search term as a parameter, like this. And over here we just need to write some code. So we just need to specify some keys and all. So let me create one API variable, const API is equals to, and let me assign one value over here. So I have created some notes for me. So let me go back to these notes, and these notes I will provide in the description box. So over here we have just API value that we just need to copy, and we just need to paste it over here. So let me paste it, and we just need to append this search query term. So let me append it by using plus search term, like this. So whatever search term we will enter, like A, B, C, it will append to this Q, which is the parameter that cognitive service takes, and it will return the result. And again we just need to send some headers. So let me copy those headers as well, and inside these headers we just need to send the subscription key. So let me copy this header and let me paste it over here, like this. And let me format this code. So in the Visual Studio Code, if you want to format the code, then the shortcut is Alt Shift F, and let me save this. And we just need to change this subscription key. So let me go back to this Microsoft Azure portal, and over here on the left hand side we are able to find these keys and endpoint option. So let me click on this one, and we have two different keys, that is key 1 and key 2. So you can use any key. So let me copy the first key and let me paste it over here, like this. And now let me save this, and again we just need to return this observable. So let me just type return that this dot http. So this dot http is the name of my http client that I injected in the constructor. So if you have any different name, so you can use that particular name. And we just need to return the get call, like this, and the value of the API is API, which is stored in the variable. So let me use API, and headers that I want to pass is head. So name of the headers is head, like this. And make sure you are giving everything in a correct way, that is return this .http.get API, which contains the endpoint value, and headers we have created over here. And make sure you are giving this key in a correct format. Now let me save this one. Let me go back to the search.component.ts, and from inside we just need to call this service. So let me first of all inject the service. So inside the constructor let me type private then ms service, which is my service name and which is of type ms service. And then inside this created get Bing suggestion function, let me type ms service dot get Bing suggestion. We just need to send it as search term, then we just need to subscribe to it. So let me type dot subscribe, and then inside the brackets let me just type any response and errors. So let me just type response is equals to, then brackets console dot log response, like this. And if you got any error, then we just need to print out the error as well. So let me give the name as err, and then we just need to print console dot log err. So this is how it will look like. So let me pause it for some seconds and make sure you are giving everything, these brackets and everything in a correct way, because over here we have used a lot of brackets and commas. So make sure you are giving everything in a correct way. And now let me go back to my browser and let me see whether it is working or not. So let me go back to this application, and application is already running on the local host 4200 port. And let me open the console and let me see whether I get any response or I get any error response. So let me search for a and let me wait, and now over here we are able to find one response. So let me expand this response and let me expand these suggestion groups. Let me expand this first one, and inside this now we are able to find different texts or different objects like Amazon. Then we are able to find these suggestions like Amazon Prime Video, then we are able to find Amazon Prime, AnyDesk, Amazon India, Aadhaar card. So these are the all search terms which is provided by the Bing search when we search for a. And let me search for like something like a b, and over here we are again getting some responses like this. So this is ABP news and about everything like which starts from this AB. So over here we are getting this response on the console. We just need to print out this response on my right hand side. So for that we are using this Ngx Json Viewer. So this is the documentation for Ngx Json Viewer, and I will just provide this link into the description box. So this is the best library that I found to show the JSON response on a UI side. So if you want to install, then over here we have some steps. So if we are using the latest Angular version, then we just need to execute this command, and then we just need to import this Ngx Json Viewer module into the app.module.ts file, and this Ngx Json module viewer module comes from this Ngx Json Viewer. So make sure you are following everything in a correct way. And if you don't know, and if you want to watch this in a session, so in the first session, that is in the image recognition session, I have used this one, and I have shown how to install this and use this one. So now let me go back to this search.component.ts file, and let me remove these dummy text, that is learn, which is in a second div, that is right hand side div. Let me remove this one, and let me go back to this browser, and let me copy this line. So this line is responsible for printing the JSON response on the UI side. So let me copy this second line. So let me copy this line and let me paste it into this one. And this sum object is the name of the object in which all the JSON response is stored. So before using this name, we just need to make sure we are just storing this response in our local variable. So let me create one local variable, that is suggestions, like this, or let me make it as suggestions is equals to null, like this. And whatever response I will get, I will make it as this dot suggestions is equals to response, like this. Now response is stored in our local variable, and we just need to copy this name and we just need to paste it into this Ngx Json Viewer. So let me now save this one, and let me go back to my local host, and let me search over here like A, and let me see whether I get any response. And on the right hand side I am able to find the response. So over here we have different options like these Amazon and all, but still I'm not be able to find this in a correct way, because this is what it hiding like this. But if I want to expand this, I can expand this. So the first query is Amazon and all. So by default this response will be in a closed way. So if I want to expand this way, then we have one settings over here like expanded is equals to true. Make it as true. Let me save this one. Let me go to this browser and let me search for A again, and now we are able to find the response in a correct way. And over here we are able to find everything which is comes from the Microsoft Bing search API from Microsoft Cognitive Services. And let me search for M, and let me see what happens. And over here we are able to find some searches for MA like this. So I hope you got an idea behind using this Bing search API from Microsoft Cognitive Services, and previously we have created this image recognition and translator as well. So if you want to watch this, then you can watch, you can go for my description box and you will get all the links. So I hope you enjoyed this session, and we'll see you in the next session.